Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back for another daring delve down into the crumbling corridors and forgotten foyers of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And last episode was a bit of a coming out party for the team, as Katniss Everdeen, Karen Murphy, and Fagin put together a little debutante party for the new Houndmaster, Burrick, taking him down into a veteran-level encounter to introduce him to Dungeon Society. And as debutante balls and coming out parties go, I gotta say, Burrick and his loyal hound Vixen really put on a show. He was a little nervous at first, picking up 40 stress for walking through the door, and then shyly refusing the first few dance invitations from some of the dungeon's more eligible monsters. But it didn't take long at all for Burrick to find his groove, flutter those lashes of his, and fill his social calendar for at least the rest of the season. It's gonna be nothing but soirees, cotillions, galas, and revels for Burrick for the rest of the summer, I can tell. In fact, so successful was Burrick's little shindig that I'm thinking about trying to stage another coming out bash for our new Jester Hopfrog. So let's head down to the embarkation point and see how the monsters feel about RSVPing to, I don't know, maybe an ice cream social? Seems like it'd be fun. So let's check it out. Now, we are looking for... Ooh, that's... Okay, well that's real good. Long mission, we can't really take not even Hopfrog on a long mission. What are you? Rampart Shield. You're a real bad, that's what you are. What is this? The Crusader's Orders I do like. It's a medium veteran to gather 3 holy relics. You know what? No, we can't do it. I would love to take little Hopfrog out, show him the town, get him a nice new fancy dress, and just introduce him to society and say, hey, eligible ladies and fellas, take a look at Hopfrog. He's on the market. If you're into it, let him know. So that's kind of what a debutante ball always struck me as. Anyway, we're not going to be able to do that, so sorry Hopfrog, the new dress is going to have to wait. This legendary bracer is just too goddamn good to pass up. Now, this is a long veteran mission to explore 90% of rooms. I don't even care. It's worth it if we can grab another one of these bracers. They're so good. Alright, so let's see what we can do about a team here. Alright, Katniss is in for a little disease relief. That's not good. We can take Murphy. You know what? We got Murphy and we got Ron Weasley. That's a pretty good place to start. We could do... you know, I don't want to take Garrett Jax because I'm pretty sure he's getting fired. Sorry, Garrett. I hate to break it to you that way. I was gonna, you know, take you aside later this afternoon for a meeting and we'd have a private time in my office, but not gonna happen. So I think we gotta go with Florence Nightingale and Arya Stark. I'm not hugely a fan of this team, but I think it's gonna be okay, actually. Let's just check Arya's skills very quickly. I want to make sure she's got all the right moves. Flashing Daggers, Shadow Fade... I do like Shadow Fade. Thrown Dagger. You know what? Let's get rid of Pick to the Face. Poison Dart is kind of a key ability now for... Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Alright, so we gotta buy Poison Dart then. It's really kind of a key ability for the Grave Robber now. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that up. We gotta have it. So let's take that. It's gonna be... That's our team. Florence, Arya. Then we're gonna go with the dynamic duo of the badass Ron Weasley and little Karen Murphy. We're gonna get stuck in, and let's do it. Now, this is a long mission, so provisions... They're gonna set us back a pretty penny. I think we go with 3 whole stacks of food. Long missions really are quite long now, that's the thing. When you see long mission, you're in for the long haul. I honestly think 4 shovels might not be enough, but that's all I'm gonna take. I don't need 2 keys. 1 key is gonna be plenty. Probably 1 holy water is gonna be good as well. And torches, I'm gonna go a little insane on. I really like the super high torch meta that we used on our last run. I thought it had fantastic results, and I'm interested in seeing if those are gonna be repeatable or if that was more of just a fluke of us catching a little more luck than we deserved. You know that the Weald is full of long, winding paths, so bring plenty of torches? I didn't know that. I mean, I've only been in there like 40, 50 times, and I had completely noticed that, but I'm just trying to humor the tooltip. I really feel he doesn't get enough respect, so I'm trying to boost his confidence a little. I mean, he's been looking a little down in the dumps lately. This dungeon layout is a monstrously epic fucking turd. This is one of the shittiest dungeon layouts I have ever seen. This is a steaming vat of liquid hog feces. Ugh, that's awful. Ugh, okay. Whatever. Let's do this. Alright, so Arya, you're gonna be opening and investigating mysterious items, probably disarming traps as well. That is one advantage to bringing Arya on this team as opposed to a man-at-arms. Arya Stark is actually gonna have pretty good facility with traps, so we've got some options there. No fight. Scouting is good. So we got our first hallway fight. Man, we can only skip 2 rooms here, so we're gonna try and do this with scouting to make our skippage. Don't go poking around in a dead, rotted corpse, Ron Weasley. We have the ban- Oh, you piece of shit, Weasley. You are very lucky, Ron Weasley. You're very lucky, chump. We got the thing. I really wish that was something they would code in to give you the option for a compulsion if you have the thing. The compulsion is fine, but if you have the interactable, give me the option to use it, please. We did not equip Poison Dart. Okay, well, we gotta remember, we actually only have 3 abilities equipped. Fantastic. Alright. Well, okay, Arya, that's a pretty good start, actually. A 14 damage critical is a nice way to begin things. I'm not gonna complain. Ron Weasley taking a little rabid rush. Ron picking up rabies is not a problem. I don't mind the accuracy penalty given Ron's trinkets, and the bonus damage is going to be real nice, as demonstrated there. So feel free to remain rabies-riddled, Ron. I don't really care that you're completely infested with a deadly, deadly illness. That's part and parcel of the whole Darkest Dungeon gig. And, yeah, sorry. Fuck it up, pal. Gonna have to tough it out, champ. I mean, you toughed it out for how long at Hogwarts? Like 85 years? I'm not exactly sure how long everyone was being educated, and I use that term loosely at Hogwarts, because by educated I actually mean, you know, threatened with death on a daily basis. Didn't seem to be a whole lot of learning going on at Hogwarts, so much as a whole lot of, hey, this particular spell, potion, and or artifact might fucking kill you. Why don't you kids take it outside and irresponsibly play with it for a while? But anyway, not sure how long Ron and the crew were at Hogwarts, but however long it was, I'm guessing it really probably felt a lot longer. Actually, I think Hogwarts would be the equivalent of, like, junior high. It seemed kind of junior high-ish to me. Maybe like a 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere in that neighborhood. So Ron and company would have been there between, you know, somewhere between, like 8 and, probably like 6 and 8 years, roughly, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm sure it detailed it in the books, but, it's been a while since I took a look at them, and honestly, I wasn't really that into Harry Potter, so... I mean, they're alright. I'm not saying anything bad about them. J.K. Rowling's a reasonably talented author, but... As far as young adult audiences and young adult properties go, gotta say, the Harry Potter novels, not really right up my alley. Want to talk about a young adult property that is up my alley? Go read Atlanta Burns by Chuck Wendig. Now that's right up my alley. Badass teenage girl with a shotgun. That's some good stuff. Also, want to read some fantastic other young adult? Try Scott Westerfeld's Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras, because Scott Westerfeld is supremely talented, and those books are fantastic. Tally Youngblood, a major badass. I'm gambling that this room will be empty. That's actually what that snuff torch was. Oh, we got lucky. Okay. I'm trying to conserve torchlight as much as possible. If we run into the Shambler, that'd be real bad. Running into the Shambler, admittedly, would be real bad. So let's just hope we can get up here and that doesn't happen. We don't really need to camp, though, because our stress is still in a fantastic position. Yeah, no more movement then. We'll dig our way through this. Thorny Thicket, and then we burn 4 torches and max our light level. So we got away with a little freebie on the light action there. Ooh, some extra food. You know? I'm not sure we need it. We'd really kind of have to drop something to pick it up. Let's see what we get. We can use one, see what it is. If it's worth it's 4 food. You know what we'll do? Let's just eat it. We'll feed as much as we can to Ron, so he's topped out. Anybody else eat this food? Anybody? Anybody? No? Alright, good. If everybody else is full, we'll just leave it at that. We'll let Ron eat his fill and then move along. It's a lot like a buffet. Ron's just doing a little grazing as he passes by. You know, he was walking by. Saw a custard that looked pretty good. Thought he'd give it a whirl. Got a spoonful. Liked it. Went back for seconds. We forgot to fucking equip Arya's abilities because I am an idiot. That was unimpressive damage, ma'am. I mean, that was remarkably unimpressive damage. You did 1. Now, theoretically, that's my fault, though, because this is a situation where Arya Stark's Blight ability, the poison darts, which are sort of supposed to be the new key ability, kind of, for the Grave Robber, would be doing fine work here, but I'm still not sold. I'm still not. Wow, that's really what we need right there, is just Karen Murphy with massive criticals. But I'm still not sold on the whole Blight being a kind of a worthwhile or valid strategy. The critical action on Thrown Dagger is quite nice, though. It has a huge critical mod now. Florence Nightingale there to mop up the slop, picking up the kill. That's fine. Looks like Murph's gonna catch a little grave nibble, which she dodged. Fantastically done, Murphy. Less good for Florence Nightingale. Oh, look at the stress from that fucking critical. Unbelievable. And I can't help but notice we're below 75 light. I don't like it. I don't like it. The thing doesn't say monster plus critical, but I'm not sure it's fully displaying properly, because I'm thinking monsters have a little bonus critical here. 5 damage from the Murph. Solid output. Stark, let's see what you actually literally can't do anything. So I guess we'll just have you whip a daggers into some corpses. Because why not? The critical on a corpse actually is a good way to get some cheap stress relief. Back to bath whiffs there, Weasley. Are you mad about my little comments about your adventures at Hogwarts, huh? You feeling a little salty, a little defensive there, Weasley? Huh? We do need busts. So we're going to burn 2 torches and we're going to take the bust. We need busts to upgrade our medical facility, and let's get Arya Stark fixed immediately, please. So it's Thrown Daggers, Shadow Fade, Poison Dart. Let's give this a roll and see if it's as good as advertised. We're going to use this bandage on the Eerie Spiderweb. 75 gold and a citrine, which I honestly could give less than a shit about. Probably that was definitively a bad trade. Might have just kept the bandage and used it to halt a little bleeding. Would likely have been more useful. Alright, so we're going to burn a torch. We're in unexplored territory. We have not been getting much scouting here. Thorny Thicket, let's get that out of the way with a nice little shovel. And I'm concerned that we may not... You know what? No, we're just going to leave that. I'm a little concerned we may not have brought enough shovel. Maybe a little light on the shovel. Like, we needed, apparently, maybe a whole hardware store full of shovel. Here we go. The scouting is good. Yeah, we're definitely not going to have it. We absolutely do not have enough shovels. Look at all these barricades. So ridiculous. Okay. I'm salty. Admittedly, a little salty. In fact, we're probably going to go up and down on this room rather than skipping it, which would be kind of the logical choice, simply because that's one room we know we can scout through without having to dig our way through another freaking barricade. I don't need deeds. I need busts and I need crests. Deeds and portraits still have no real use for those. Busts and crests, however, those are much needed. We're going to remax our light level. 96 is good. On the plus side, if we do have to dig through some of those with our hands, we haven't camped yet. So we do have that kind of working to our advantage. Alright, let's go for... I want these fungal batteries killed. I don't like those monsters. They do a lot of damage. Good stress relief there. Do we revenge? I think now is worthwhile for revenging. So let's have Ron Weasley pack the revenge in. Marking prey. That's good. I would much rather them mark than they do the double blight attack on our back 2 troopers. Let's test out this poison dart and see exactly what it's worth. We're going to throw it at a high percentage, and he resisted it, so fantastic. That attack did 0 damage altogether, and therefore was a complete waste. And this is why I say I don't really think the dot classes are good enough to justify their inclusion. I really don't. If their dot attacks are what we're going to have to rely on to do damage, you can't have them hit and then just get resisted. See what I'm saying? Now, I know this monster does have a high blight resist. But what are you going to do? I mean, this is how we're supposed to kill these monsters now. They have high protection. The reason they have high protection is that you're supposed to use blights and bleeds to kill them. If they all... Look at this thing. It's 80% blight and bleed. It's 80% blight resistant, 40% bleed resistant. You can't make the only way to kill something be to hit it with a blight or a bleed and then make it nigh on immune to those 2 things. That's not going to work. You just basically what you've done is said, the best way to kill this is to just beat it to death with weapons. It's just way harder to do now. That change doesn't make the argument for including blight damage classes. What it makes the argument for doing is getting classes that just do more damage per hit. Arya Stark has done with one thrown dagger more damage than both of her dart attacks did. That's... If poison darts is supposed to be a critical ability for grave robbers, you actually need to make it reliably a critical ability. An ability can't be critical or intrinsic to a class if it fucking doesn't work. If it's completely unreliable, it's not critical, it's just worthless. So what's your blight resistance? Also 80%. So if the monsters we fought here, Arya Stark can do basically nothing with what should be one of her signature damage moves. 4 points per round for 3 rounds is good, and it does lower their blight resistance by 21, but it doesn't matter, because it's never gonna fucking work. I'm sorry. The changes that you made to try and make dots better, developers, you didn't hit it on the head. You didn't get it right. They're still not really worthwhile. Not worthwhile. These bleeds that we're using from Murphy, see, that's the way to do it. The bleed attack itself does some solid damage and then also has a bleed. That's the way they need to work. The poison darts can't hit for 0 damage when it hits. What is Weasley? I know you have rabies, pal, but come on, the misses are getting a little egregious here, my friend. You need to do better, Ron. We're also getting the holy shit criticaled out of us, which is really packing the stress on. The damage also is not inconsiderable. Thank you, Murphy. I appreciate your contributions. Ron Weasley, you and I may need to have a talk in the office after school, so I'm giving you detention, pal. I hate to do it, but yeah, I'm giving you detention. I'm considering camping here. Now, before I camp, let's check everybody's camping skills. And Arya Starks are good enough. Do we want to camp, then? You know, let's take a look at the scout and see what lies ahead. Is it better to fight twice, or would we be better off to just go around? We could do that. You know what? We can hit this tent on the way back. We might be able to get... Oh, we're going to be down at least a little inventory space. I was going to say, we might be able to use something on this interactable that'll free up an inventory slot. The crests I kind of need. Alright, this key's got to go, then. We do need the crest. Worst case scenario with the holy water, we can always just drink it. Drinking holy water does provide buffs for you until you camp. Bonus blight resistance, bonus bleed resistance. So if you got nothing else to do with the holy water, like if you don't have an interactable that you need to use it on, the best bet is to just drink it. Now it looks like this room still has a fight in it, but it should not, because we cleared this room. So let's check our traveler's tent. Someone left valuables inside. Alright, that's good. We could carry all of that. That's a solid little loot for us. Some of those things are going to be extremely useful. I would have preferred to have found another shovel, given our shovel situation, and a lot of hunger prompts here, rapid fire. Would admittedly have preferred to have found a shovel, because this is our last one. But again, we haven't camped yet, and if we need to, we can always invest with a little shovel action. Post-camp after, we can always camp after we've failed to not use a shovel. And get that stress back. Arya Stark has been spot on the traps. I mean, then again, doesn't she have like 100% trap disarm or something? Yeah, she actually literally can't fail. Her trap disarm is above 100%. Just snuff that. Darkness closes in. This room is empty, and we know it. So clap your hands. If you're empty and you know it, clap your hands. If you're empty and you know it, clap your hands. If the dungeon really sucks and it's kicking you in the nuts, if it's empty and you know it, clap your hands. So we got a lot of fights. Arguably going for the backtrack maneuver was the wrong play here. So I think what we do is we just skip these 2 rooms altogether. There is, yeah, you know what? I think that's the right play. So we go for the high torchlight. We just skip these rooms altogether, and if things are going exceedingly well on the way back, we can always double back for that room if we want to. So let's come down, do the bottom 4 rooms, and if we decide later that we're interested in what this treasure might be, we can always outlaw Josie Wales and just circle back for it later. The high light level meta does seem to be helping in the critical department, although we haven't really put it to the test. This should be a pretty damn good test of how the meta actually is going to work. Alright, so theoretically this guy should be a fantastic target for our blight attack. Actually, this guy has more protection. The problem is we can't leave that guy alive long enough. We can't let him linger like that. That's not acceptable. Alright, 13 damage from the Wheeze. Not fantastic, but we'll take it. Somebody's got to kill this piece of shit. The Fusilier and his blanket fire, we cannot suffer him to live. As it is written in the Bandit Maleficarum, you must, or actually I guess it would be the Malleus Bandit. Malleus Maleficarum, of course, the Witch's Hammer, a treatise on how to deal with witches written sometime in, I think, like the 14th or 15th century. That is most unfortunate, Murph. We really kind of needed that one to hit. Although we did get to dodge back in kind, so it balances out a little. Let's keep pumping this guy full of darts. So his protection, his blight resistance is down by 42%. You know, I can see what they're shooting for here by having it also give a blight resistance debuff so that the more you get hit with it, the more likely it is to work in the future. It seems like they should just give that a front, instead of doing it that way, just front load it so that once the attack goes off, it actually applies its blight damage. I would just rather have a big blight chance than a huge blight debuff. There's the kill from Murph we have. Alright, we're gonna need to do some healing here. We gotta, probably the AoE heal is the right move. Get 8 aggregate. Florence can always heal herself a little bit while doing damage if we need her to. We may have Ron Weasley withstand. He's getting kinda beat up here. Little punishment for Arya Stark, not too bad. The bleed is unfortunate. How big is that bleed? Pretty fucking big, actually. So keep throwing the poison darts. So this guy's bleeding for 12 a round for 3 rounds, so at this rate, he dies in 3 rounds. This is why bleeds are irrelevant. We've got this guy completely loaded up with bleeds, dots, whatever. We've got them all applied. It's not going to make a difference. He's going to be dead. If we had just been attacking him with Ron Weasley... There you go. So, see... it's just better to hit him. It's better to just hit him and do damage. That was... Yeah, we're going to have to absolutely camp after this fight. Murphy is getting chopped into haggis. She's really kind of getting wrecked here. The boys are working her over pretty good. Is that fatal damage? That is fatal damage. Good. So, if we had just had Arya Stark whipping daggers the whole... Yeah, see? It's better to just have her whip daggers. The daggers do more aggregate damage. 3 daggers thrown into a target is going to do more damage than 3 of those dots. Because it's never going to tick out. They're just never going to tick out. Monsters don't have enough health to warrant dots being a viable mechanic. They just don't live long enough. If you want to have the dots, you got to have them be like the Hellions dots. The attacks that deliver the dot also have to do some kind of positive damage. They got to do some kind of work in addition to just being damage you'll get to eventually. Yeah, they also have to just be intrinsically worthwhile. A 0 damage attack is not really an attack I ever want to throw. I don't want to be relying on something that's going to do literally nothing. Except for maybe the part of it that's supposed to do something, which tends to just get resisted. Oh, you know, this food can probably buy us 1 more room here. And by probably, I mean absolutely buy us 1 more room. I'm glad we brought the extra... medicinal herbs. We probably should have burned a torch before coming in here. And, you know, we could probably scrape through this. This is not an overwhelming enemy set. Rabies? Yeah, that's what I want to see. Give me the rabies on Arya Stark. I don't care about the accuracy debuff. Arya has excellent accuracy. I want the rabies or the bonus damage. So there's 9 damage. That's... See, that 9 damage is actually more... Man, Ron, we may have to cure you of the rabies, pal. It's becoming a little bit of a problem for you. And that blight is also a very significant problem. Murphy with some solid damage to the back row, but not enough to get the kill. We gotta go for the Divine Comfort here. We're gonna need to AoE heal with the blots and bleeds and blats and blues. Ron Weasley getting a little wrecked. This Reign of Blight is problematic. We're gonna have to cure that with anti-venom, I think. Yeah, Arya Stark is too beaten up to not cure that. So that's gotta... Actually, we're gonna cure them both. Whip the double daggers. 7 damage. So 18 aggregate, which is more than we'd have gotten out of 2 of those blights. It would be ticking for 8, thus a total of 12 had it ticked twice. Which at this point it would have only ticked once. More blight. Fantastic. Arya, oh, I'm glad she resisted that because she is not in a good space. Also, Karen Murphy, not in a good space here. We're getting wrecked up a little. 6 is probably not going to be sufficient. We have got to camp after this. The Mark Prey is good. That does 0 damage. We're not so worried about the Mark. All right, Murphy. There we go. Now we've got these guys down in the danger zone. Come on, Weasley. The accuracy debuff is untenable for Ron. As much as I love keeping folks with rabies, Ron, he can't abide it. His accuracy is too low to abide the rabies, so... Sorry, Wheeze, but you're the one guy who doesn't get to stay rabified and rabinated. Infested with a deadly rabidic disease. Yeah, I'm curing your rabies, is what I'm trying to say, Ron. Your rabies is getting cured. Yeah, Murphy with the triple hack kill. That was fucking beautiful, by the way, Murph. I love you very much, my dear. Sincerely. I want to have your babies, Murphy. I want to have all your babies. I don't need those portraits. We're going to throw those on the floor. Let's camp first and then check this out just to any interest of getting some more inventory space. We do have enough food for the repast, which is good. So let's do a little sharpening spear. We're going to battle trance. Ron... Yeah, Ron, go for the quarantine. We could use the big stress relief. The damage on Ron is a little unfortunate, but we should have saved time for Gallows Humor because it's so good. That was admittedly a mistake. All right, so we got let's. You know what? It's okay because now we can breast Ron. We can breast Ron Weasley. We're gonna get some of that accuracy that Ron lost back. You have 17 stress. Ron has 22. Go ahead and encourage the wheeze. We're still kind of banged up. Drink that anti-venom. You know what? Also, why don't you guys drink holy water? We have a bunch of extra holy water. Alright, so let's see how this works out. Take our guard. We'll be on first watch. We're a little more beaten up than I'd like, but the scouting, we didn't get ambushed, which is nice. We could use that. Alright, so bus and crest, exactly what we wanted. We need both of those. And we gotta go do the loop around. Look at all these fucking fights. Jesus. So we have 5 more fights at a minimum in this dungeon. This is unrelenting bullshit. Telling you, they've got the hallway encounter quotient set. It's set too high. Monsters are frequently too dangerous now, even at maximum light level, for there to be this many fights. It's simply overwhelming. We're gonna have to be AoE healing pretty much exclusively with Florence Nightingale from now on, and not only that, we're also gonna kind of have to hope we can catch some criticals now and then. Ron taking a win from the old gods, not really a problem. Murph didn't quite get 1 damage shy of fatal damage from the Murphy. That guy's gonna have 1 health. Eldritch Push is actually not bad for us, especially when we dodged it. Louise, the accuracy bonus. Yep, okay. So Ron Weasley's back in a fight. We're good now. That guy bled to death. Thank you, Murphy. See, guys, that's how a dot attack needs to work. It needs to also do damage. I mean, having the secondary effect, it's lovely. Don't get me wrong. I really like the bleeds. They're useful. They sincerely are useful. The attack that delivers it, though, you can't have it do nothing. It can't be a do-nothing attack. It can't be a throwaway. The dungeon is right now, as it's set, it's too difficult to have throwaway attacks ever be viable. This fight sucks. This giant could put any one of our troopers on death's door at a moment's notice with a single swing. The critical heal is very nice. Alright, so we got a critical to Crone. We didn't get to critical, but 9 damage is good. Iron Swan should finish her off. Beautiful, Murphy. Oh, so good. See, Hellions are the prime example of a dot class done right. They really are. They're a dot class that works because they don't just have dots. They have delivery systems that count. That's the thing. The delivery system has got to count. That shuffle sucks. We are in a bad way. This monster has got to die, and we don't have really currently any way to hit it at all. Can we? This is going to do nothing. Yeah. I'm not happy with that attack. I'm really not. Good, solid damage from Ron Weasley, though. All right, so the stacking blight on our... Yeah, that's bad. Tree Branch Smackdown is also bad. 13 damage for Florence Nightingale. On the plus side, it did push her back, so Murphy's going to get a good swing. How much blight? A lot. I meant to heal Florence Nightingale. I'm glad we got the critical heal. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the critical. That was not the target we needed it on. That guy's dead. He has fatal damage. I'd like to point out the fatal damage on that would have come from the blight. I mean, the bleed was on there, yes, technically, but the blight would have also been fatal damage. Now, let's do the math on this. This guy has 71 hit points. The Blighted Giant, one of the healthiest enemies in the game. We're going to throw this at him. Okay, so it's done 0 damage. Ron Weasley, 16 damage with a single swing of his sword. We'll keep track here. He is highly blight resistant, and blight is really kind of the wrong thing to bleeding into the wield, because so many of the monsters in the wield are blight resistant. But look, there's a bleed attack that also did a 44 damage critical. That's the kind of attacks you need delivering your dots. Right there. Yeah, the 2 damage is not really that terrible of an assault, Mr. Narrator. I mean, I don't mean to burst your bubble or anything, pal, but it's actually not that bad. And Arya Stark does more damage with a thrown dagger than her dots have done the entire mission. I would like to eat some food, but instead we're going to burn these 2 torches. Actually, we can't burn both torches, so we're going to throw the citrines on the ground and take the gold. You know what? No, let's just drink the holy water. Actually, why don't you drink the holy water? And did we don't have a key anymore. That's unfortunate. Get our party back in order. Open the heirloom chest. It's of course trapped. Just what we didn't need, more blight damage. Although that's actually a fairly small blight, so all things considered, not hugely probable. This is too many fucking fights. There are 6 fights in these 4 rooms. This is, it's too much. It's too much. We probably should camp again after this one. We're gonna have to camp twice, and just hope we get lucky with some healing, because otherwise, we're not gonna have enough go juice. This is too much blanket fire. The dodges really helped quite a bit. You gotta heal yourself, Florence Nightingale, because you're in a bad way. Nightingale is not in great shape. Keep pounding on Ron. Ron can take it. Ron's tough. Ron's the man. The uppercut slice. Okay, I invited you to pound on Ron Weasley, and that's advice that you solidly took to heart. You pounded the holy living shit out of him. Look at Murphy. God, she's so good. Oh, Murphy, my love. You are truly a beautiful, powerful woman, and, again, I want to have all your babies, Murphy. I really do. All of your babies. Arya Stark, getting things done. You know, Thrown Dagger is actually pretty good now. So, I like it. The Grave Robber does have 1 attack they can use. The Thrown Dagger is a solid little ability. It's useful enough to keep them in the cut. It makes them better than Plague Doctors, because they have at least 1 damage that, one attack rather, that just does raw, straight up damage. Just it gets in your face and throws some damage at you. It's not a lot of damage, but it's some. Unlike the Plague Doctor, who doesn't even have a single attack like that. They got nothing that just does damage. All of their attacks are terrible, crippling penalties to the damage part of them, and then they have extra bleeds and other abilities. Really, the only useful ability that the Plague Doctor has is the one that explodes corpses. This is a good fight for us. We may actually come out of this one with some healing. These slimes do not do abundant damage. Good solid lead from Arya Stark. You know, actually both of the dagger abilities from the Grave Robber are worthwhile now. I won't say they're fantastic, but they're actually at least worth using. And we may be able to get a kill here. I was hoping Florence Nightingale would beat him on a speed roll. Ron Weasley with the mad dodge. Oh, the wheeze. You glorious son of a bitch. You magnificent bastard, you. A kill for Florence Nightingale, 4 damage to boot. We'll take it. Solid little pickup. Let's check this inside of this tent. Traveler's tent contains some valuables. Let's burn that torch so we've got room for him. This food, I think we'll just go ahead and eat. Feed that to Ron. We're going to burn that torch as well. And we're going to take a gigantic pile of cash along with us. You know, I think we probably got enough healing that we can finish this out and camp at the end. The food find probably gave us just enough to make it through. We don't care about deeds. We don't need deeds. What is this, an Adam Sandler movie? Fuck off, deeds. Also, don't ever show me your horrible, horrible fucking foot. Whatever the hell is wrong with that, just keep that to yourself. That just robbed us of some cheap stress relief right there. That hunger prompt robbed us of stress relief. That sucks. Maybe there's a food table in here or something. Nope, just a crow and a blighted giant and a guy who's gonna give everyone rabies. Alright, so whip a dagger into that bitch's eye. Arya Stark starting things off with a knife to the heart. Pretty much the way Arya Stark starts most things, and I can't fault her proclivities if I lived in Westeros. Pretty sure that's how I'd start most daily activities as well. Was hoping Flowtown might get the kill there, but we can delay 1 round on that if we need to. The crone has already done her damage. There's no point in trying to overkill her, like, straight out of the bat now. Ron Weasley with some solid work. Here comes the poison spores. Weasley got hit. He's blighted, and it's not really that big of a deal for the Wheeze. Let's just wicked hack that thing. Good. Somebody beat this crone on a speed roll. Damn it. You did not beat the crone on a speed roll? We're supposed to beat the crone on a speed roll? I appreciate you knifing her into heart again, Arya Stark. That's useful for us, but if you had done that before she went, it would have been much better. Let's just go ahead and hit this thing. I mean, we might as well take the extra damage and kill the corpse, too. Toss a heal at Ron Weasley, just to make sure Ron doesn't get Tree Branch smacked down the hell off the planet. See, there's your bleed attack right there. 20 damage, but also a 4-point bleed for 2 rounds. That's good. That's a good dot. That Spore's really boned us. And so we're gonna dodge back so we can at least get Murphy to the front. We can't do anything here, so we're just gonna move forward. You're gonna move backwards. And we're doing a little Texas two-step action here. Alright, so more bleed. Also, we got a stun? How did that guy get stunned? Does that attack have a stun chance? That's real weird. The Blighted Giant does have fatal damage. The bleed's gonna kill him before he gets a chance to go again, which is good, because Ron Weasley can't do anything. Ah, poor Ron. So helpless, so confused, so overwhelmed by the vastly superior in every way Harry Potter. I feel for you, Weeze. I feel for you, pal. Alright, so we are not gonna need those medicinal herbs. We're not gonna need these torches. Let's take our cash. No, we're gonna continue adventuring for just a moment. We use this firewood. We can't repast, which sucks, but we can get still some stress relief. So, reduce own stress by 20. All right, that's good. 18. All right, you know what? First off, let's just Gallows Humor. Could have gone better. All right, 23 damage, 23 for the Murph. She could reject the gods, give everybody else 5, and get rid of. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. Let's quarantine instead. Beautiful. All right, that worked nicely. So we now have a total of 11 stress to get rid of, which we can do with an Encourage and an Encourage. No more stress on our team. Let's get the shit out of the dungeon. Off we go. And now it's time for us to earn our punishment, because despite having completed successfully a run through the dungeon, we are about to get punished for our victory by every time I see one of these faces, I'm filled with shame. Wow, this is actually one of the better outcomes in that we broke even. Picked up Paranormania. Blutomania is not that big of a deal. Ruins Tactician is quite good. What did it replace? Hard Skinned. That is less good. Weapon Tinkerer. Replaced Wield Tactician. Well, we got fucked then. These are all bad. Every single one of these was a downgrade. Either we picked up something negative or we traded something positive for something negative. And Ron Weasley also has rabies that we have to get rid of because Ron Weasley cannot abide an accuracy penalty. So let's go do that. All right, Weasley. Get your ass in there. Medical ward for you. Got to go get the rabies cured. You got to get rid of the bees there, Ron. Not the bees! Not the bees! Ron Weasley advising you to avoid the bees. Okay, what else do we need to get rid of? Or alternatively, theoretically, lock in. I actually like having these locked in, because none of them are bad. Natural Eye is worthless. Resilient, eh. Ruins Tactician's pretty good. Clotter's not terrible. Actually, I kind of like Clotter because we use Occultist quite a bit. Clotter has some serious advantages to Clotter. Can we close that, please? Faded, Balanced, Natural Swing. Natural Swing's pretty good. May not want to lock that in. Roderick Utcher, Clutch Hitter, Unholy Hater is real good. Manslayer is also real good. All of these are good, actually. Let's lock some of these in for Roderick Usher. Let's lock in Hater of the Unholy because it seems too appropriate. It's too fitting. Madeline, Clutch Hitter for you is interesting. Actually, you know what? Clutch Hitter for Madeline is really good. If she's hurt, it gives her a bigger chance to heal herself for a lot of damage. I think we lock that in. I sincerely, if the chips are down, we want her to have the biggest critical chance we can for critical heals. All right, let's see if anybody else has a disease that we need to get rid of. Hey, get your diseases. Come on, diseases. Got your diseases here. Who's got them? Who wants them? Got a disease. Hey, you got a disease that needs to go. Ron Weasley got the bees, but we're getting rid of the... Oh, gripping in the guts is shitty. Poor Bruenor still having his intestinal dysfunction. Arya Stark has got the bees, but you know what? Arya Stark, she's gonna keep the bees. We like the rabies on Arya. She can go ahead and hang on to those. Susan McAllister contracted syphilis. Why am I not surprised, Susan? Promiscuity finally caught up with you, didn't it? Don't you dare give that syphilis to Thomas Jane, goddammit. Thomas Jane does not deserve such treatment. It's bad. Yeah, let's just cure it. It's got crippling penalties, and let's face it, plague doctors are bad enough without additional penalties, so... Sorry, Bruenor, you're gonna have to keep shitting yourself for at least another week, because we don't have enough room in the medical ward to get you in for treatment, pal. Sorry. Tough luck, them's the breaks, though. We have 120 crests, and we need... So really, at this point, what we need more than anything else, we just need busts. You're fully upgraded. Are you fully upgraded? You're fully upgraded. Yeah, so the only thing we still have to do is upgrade that, and to do that, we need busts. So we can now stop taking any kind of trinket or heirloom other than busts, because they're the only one we need. Which is good, because we must increase the bust, I really feel. Both in the boob category and actually like a carved human head. That both of those busts are fine. And we need both. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap things up, because I'm just fucking babbling like a punch-drunk idiot at the moment. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. My babbling notwithstanding, if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.